Howdy folks, in this video I'm going to answer the question, what is a chord? Then we'll examine the two most common types of chords, major chords and minor chords. Chords are made of individual musical notes, so to begin, let's look at single notes. I think we all have an idea of what a musical note is, but just to be sure we're together on it, a note on the mandolin is the sound of one of our pairs of strings vibrating at some particular frequency. For example, our second strings, which are called the A strings, they're both tuned to 440 cycles per second. And when we play those strings, we hear a sound that the whole world calls an A note. Now there are lots more possible notes on the mandolin, ranging from this low G string all the way up to these notes way up high on the E string. And each one of those has a unique frequency that the string is vibrating at. The A is vibrating at 440 cycles per second, and any note higher than that is vibrating faster. Any note lower than that is vibrating slower. So if you go down in pitch, the frequency goes down. If you go up in pitch, the frequency goes up. Even though we have around 40 different possible notes on the mandolin, we only have 12 different names for them. Let's see how that works. Now here we have our second string, the A, the open A, vibrating at 440 cycles per second. And if you recall, I said that higher notes vibrate faster and lower notes vibrate slower. But an interesting fact is that if you double the frequency, you end up on the same note an octave higher. So if we start with this A note, our second string A, it's vibrating at 440 cycles per second. If we double the frequency of that to 880, we get another A note. So each time you double the frequency, you end up on the same note, just a higher sounding version of the same note. Now both of those A's share similar musical qualities in that the brain treats them both as an A note, sort of treats them as the same, even though they sound different. And it's because they're exact multiples of one particular frequency. So this A right here on the second string is 440. This high A is 880. And this low A, down an octave, you would divide it by 2 and you'd be at 220. So you've got 220, 440, and 880. Okay, enough about single notes for now. Let's define the word chord. A chord is a sound produced by 3 or more different notes played simultaneously. Now let's use that definition to build some chords. We'll start with the major chord. Here's a little G major chord. Major chords are made up of notes which are taken from the major scale. So if we're playing a G major chord, all the notes that you're hearing are notes from the G major scale. But it's not all the notes, it's only 3 of them. And to show you what I mean, here's a G major scale. And if you need a little help on what is a major scale, I'd suggest you watch the video called What is a Major Scale? And also you might want to watch the one called What is a Blues Scale, because it covers a lot of the similar material. We're going to start with the major scale, and here's a G major scale going up. Note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's open, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, open, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret. Those are the notes of our G major scale. Note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now what we're going to do to make the major chord is we're only going to keep notes 1, 3, and 5. So this note on the bottom is a 1. We'll keep that. And we'll come on up 1, 2, 3. Here we have a 3. We could use that one. However, it's on the same string. So it's going to be really hard to play a 3 and a 1 with only a single string. So we have to choose one of those. So we'll keep our original 1. And we'll skip this 3 for now and find another 3 elsewhere. So there's our first note is the 1. We're going to skip that 3. Going to skip 4. We're going to play the 5, which is our open D string. Because remember I said a major chord is going to have a 1, a 3, and a 5. So here we've got a 1 on the bottom. And if we count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we use that note too. So our open G string is a 1, our open D string is a 5. So now we've got a 1 and a 5. We still need to find a 3 to complete our chord. So we'll just keep coming up from 5, 5, 6, 7, and 8, which is also 1 of the next octave. So that's a 1 we could use, but if we do that, we'll wipe out our 5 down here, so we won't play that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. So as we go up into the next octave, we can find another 3 up here at the 2nd fret, 2nd string. That's a B note up there. And so finally we have a 3. So just with those 3 notes together, we can have a full G major chord. We'd have a 1, and then a 5, and then a 3. Put those together and you have a G major chord. And you could choose other ones. You could have a 5 and then a 1 and a 3, or a 3 on the bottom. Those kind of different inversions, they're okay, as long as you have 1s, 3s, and 5s. Now if we want to keep going all the way up here, keep running the scale all the way up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1, we find another 1 right up here on top, so we can add that one in too. There's no reason we can't have more than one of any of these notes in our chord. So that's a G up on top, a 1 on top, and a 1 on bottom. That sounds really good. So every single note that we're playing here is either a 1, a 3, or a 5. And again, if any of that is confusing even in the slightest bit, go back and watch what is a major scale. And I believe if you understand that, everything I said here will make good sense to you. Now let's look at how to build a minor chord. All right, there's our G major chord we looked at a minute ago. And they're all just 1s, 3s, and 5s, and we're going to convert that into a minor. To make it into a G minor chord, it's very simple. All we have to do is find the 3, any 3s at all that you're playing, and we're only playing one of them right here. And again, by 3, I mean the 3rd note of the major scale. So that's a 3, and all you have to do to make it minor is lower it 1 fret. And now we're playing what's known as a flat 3, or a flatted 3rd. So we leave all the other notes alone. The 1s remain where they were, the 5s remain where they were, the 3 gets dropped down 1 fret. And this note on top was a 1, so we can leave it alone. So we've gone from this position, which is our G major, to this, which is G minor. And that's really all there is to it. You just flat the 3rd, and you'll have the minor chord, which is 1, flat 3, 5. If you want to learn more about playing chords, check out my lesson called Movable Major and Minor Chords, and also bar chords and 7th chords. If you'd like to dig a little deeper into mandolin theory, chord and scale construction, and improvisation, check out my book, Mandolin Masterclass. The book goes into a greater level of detail that will help you gain more understanding than just the video lessons alone. Remember that our goal is not to play the mandolin, it is to play music on the mandolin. So keep that in mind, and I'll see you in the next lesson.